Okay, bet. All right, yeah, we want to get some recruiting talk. A lot of buzz this week for FSU. They're starting to crank things back up with spring break over for the college side, but like Silk said, his kids on spring break this week. So just throughout the state of Florida, excuse me, there's going to be a lot of action as far as visits, kids going on campuses and things like that, taking their tours, Miami, Florida, Florida State, all throughout because they're on break and they have that time, right? So one of the kids that I want to talk about, and I don't really talk about too many 2025 kids unless they're like that. So I want to mention Armando Blunt, number 3 player in the 2025 class. He recently he was at Dillard last year and transferred to Central, but you know how them Central cats go. That's usually been a Miami fence these past couple years with Miami Central. But he was on campus. He said they were just some things. Said they really caught his eye in regards to that. His mother, though, he was on campus. His father and mother. His mother said, "As a mother, I finally heard exactly what I needed to hear in regards to FSU. Thank you." So it's something to look out for as far as his recruitment. Pretty sure he'll be back on campus. It's a long ways away, 2025. But a guy of that caliber you want to mention. Um, like I said, he originally played for Dillard. Now he's at Central. So if I had to take a guess in 25, just off of him being at Central, I'd say Miami. But we'll see how that plays out with Armado Blunt moving forward.
That's a guy we out there as well.
Yeah, the kid is like that.
Yeah.
I remember I was watching some salt because I remember 2 years ago we had that receiver that was committed to FSU. I forgot his name, but ended up committing to Louisville and got in some trouble later on down the line. But was watching some practice clips on him, and this DN he was a sophomore at that time, a freshman or sophomore. And this DN was just wrecking shop. It's like, who is this kid? Like, oh, that's Blunt, man. He's going to be a guy, once his time come. And lo and behold, he should be a surefire 5-star, consistent 5-star. He's a 5-star now, but once that cycle has to come, I think he'd be a 5-star throughout the entirety of his recruitment.
He got a name meant for trolls, though. I tell you that, man.
Right.
That blunt pack in the air, man.
Right.
You better live up to that 5-star.
Got to. KJ Bolin, number 1 safety in the country, 5-star, and for the 2024 cycle, he will be on campus tomorrow. Well, if you're listening live on YouTube, he'll be on campus tomorrow. If you guys listen on, Apple Music, Spotify, those platforms, he will once we release it tomorrow. He'll be on campus Thursday, March the 23rd. Big visit for him from Georgia. I know he's spoke highly FSU in the past, but he hasn't gotten on campus in a while. So to get him on campus, it'll be interesting to see how things shake out as far as the visit goes and things like that. So that'd be something to keep an eye out on, just to see how KJ Bolden visit goes and moving forward with his recruitment. If FSU is a serious player with KJ. A 4-star athlete, Chalil Cummings out of Start, Florida, Central Florida, 352 Central Florida area. Going to return to campus this week as well. I like him a lot, man. He plays receiver, safety, cornerback, pretty much everything for Start. Really good athlete.
Where you guys recruiting him at?
I don't have a DB for sure. I don't know which one is in corner or safety though, but it's a DB for sure. Jamari Howard, 4-star cornerback out of Miami, 6'2", 275, Michigan State commit. I think he's on spring break as well, making his rounds through Tallahassee. I think he's on Florida campus as well yesterday.
Right.
So I like him a lot, man. Really, really long corner. We'll see how this plays out as far as his visit. I know he's been talking about FSU a lot and been wearing some, like at camp, just, kids wear like gloves and sleeves. So we'll see how that plays out. But I do like him a lot. If we could pair him with Charles Lester or even get serious within his recruitment, that'd be dope. But I do want to say this. I don't think, I want to say this with certainty. I don't think he sticks with that Michigan State commitment. I
Nah,
don't think
Mel
that
Tucker, go
happens.
ahead and let that go, bro. Man, talking about start looking around for
Yeah, for
another
real.
DB.
Yeah, you got to look at Detroit for a corner or something, bro. You ain't
Yeah, you ain't coming down and get no elite DBs. I don't know what
nah.
your NIL package. I don't know if you got a Ruiz up there or something like that. Mel, if
Better
you
do
ain't got
some of
no
that Motor City,
Ruiz,
bro, for sure. You better,
yeah,
better tap into Ford or something, bro, because
You
this
done
ain't.
talked him up, boy.
yeah, I
I
hit
ain't
8
seen
Mile,
Ruiz
bro.
in about 5-6 days, man. He gonna pop today. Watch. But go
He ain't
ahead.
tweeted in that long.
I ain't seen him.
Yeah, Fed's calling. Fed's calling, man.
But I do. I got something. This is off top as far as recruitment. I'm pretty much done with the recruiting process in regards to this week's news. Rather, got some new upcoming stuff for next week. But this is pretty interesting as far as Battles In. The Battles In Collective. They're announcing spring practice donor match program from March the 15th to April the 15th. Anybody who donates and things like that, they have a donor that's going to match up to $500,000. So I think that's pretty cool as well.
Okay.
There are also anybody who donates and joins Battles In, they get like a 247 free subscription as well. So I think they're pretty serious as far as the collectives and trying to get these players paid. And I know we just had that bill passed in Florida to where the university itself can get involved within these deals. So I think that's going to be good as well. So shout out to Battles In. They've been really proactive in regard, and shit, Battles In been a thing for probably 4 months or so, man, and they've made a lot of headway in regards to making sure the athletes are getting their fair share as far as compensation for the NIL packages. Like Silk said, man, spring practice has started, and we're back at. Well, I want to say one thing. I'm not sure about. I'm assuming Florida, Miami as well because I haven't heard anything in the news, man. But I'm just glad that I know we kind of talked about it last week. It wasn't any unfortunate situations on spring break as far as drinking, driving, and things like that. So I do want to give kudos and happy for that for all three programs. We didn't have anything serious come out of spring break because you guys know, man, spring break it can be crazy times, and we had even though it wasn't any drinking and driving related, but we had an injury last year during spring break from one of our top receivers in Winston Wright. So happy to announce that.
In Miami,
Everybody back.
just spring break, just
Oh,
in
that shit's
general was
crazy in South Beach,
crazy.
bro. Oh
Yeah.
my
It was
gosh, bro.
crazy, insane, dog. Like a
Man,
lot of
so
violence, insane
violence,
stuff.
man. It was a video, and the kid was arrested. Man, I seen. I don't know if you guys seen that video or not, but dude on South Beach, I think the kid was from Fort Lauderdale, and not just walked up on the dude and shot him like 5 or 6 times,
Wow,
killed him cold, and then just
Wow.
the tourists, man. It was one car, people jumping on the guy's car and just causing damage to the car. That's not how to act when you go places, man. That's the
Man,
reason
listen.
why we don't have VCR and BCR, Black Culture Reunion in Daytona anymore. That's the reason why we don't have Panama City anymore. Freaknik pretty much died down. South Beach, I guess it's starting to come back, but it was dead for a second because we go to these
right.
places and just go crazy, man. It'd be good stuff going, and then it gets ruined by stupidity, man.
that
So
liquor, that liquor be whooping their ass, man. Joe get on that
That's it,
sauce and
man.
just
shit,
That
look, listen,
poison,
man.
turn into
shit
a
poison,
different
man.
demon.
That liquor
I'm
turned me into
telling you.
trick last weekend, so I know
I'm
exactly.
yeah. I'm glad that no matter what I drink, bro, I'm the
Turned him
same
into
kind of
trick.
just happy drunk, bro. Y'all motherfuckers get out here and just want to fight and don't make no sense, man. That shit
Man,
is
that
crazy
alcohol
to me.
had CJ do the greatest demonstration for the ASL community of a Trick Daddy song. If I couldn't hear, and I was
Know
just
You know
exactly
watching,
what's
like,
going
everything.
on, right?
I want what record is that? Like, I want to know what song that is, because that young man is demonstrating the hell out of that song, bro. You did it
Oh
bad, bro.
man.
That was in my bag with that trick shit. Let's talk about practice a little bit, man. I had some people that was at practice yesterday for the entirety of practice. Shaheem Brown, the safety, he stood out in practice. He was making plays left and right. He had a really good day. Jared Verse, no surprise, but he had a great day as well. He couldn't be stopped at all. Did what he wanted to against the offensive line. Bless Harris was like the only offensive tackle to kind of hold his own, against Jared Verse. So that's a good thing to get Bless Harris back. As FSU fans know, he was supposed to be our starting right tackle last season, but he got injured the first game against Duquesne with an arm injury. So to have him back in the fold is pretty good as well. I'm not sure if he'll start this year, but to have him back competing is really dope for that right tackle spot. Uh, Fisk, the defensive tackle we got from Western Michigan, he was in pads. He was in the green jersey, but it's good to have him in pads. Like he's recovering from the shoulder surgery that he had in this all season after the not Middle Tennessee. So I'm thinking about my guy from Middle Tennessee, Western Michigan. My bad. And it was a video of film. FSU fans, like every practice, Martin Norvell kind of races the D line. Saw Robert Cooper. He was pretty much whooping Coop ass every damn, big Coop whooping his ass every day, man. But it's a different type of D tackles out there now, man. I don't think I've seen Mike win the race yet, man. And Fisk had won the race last week, so that's a good thing. Daryl Jackson and Joshua Farmer, they continue to press during spring practice. Those guys are going to get a lot of snaps. I know they played together in high school, but they're definitely going to be playing together on the college level for sure. They're getting a lot of snaps. I think the top four rotation for the defensive tackles will probably be those two, along with Fisk and
Fabo.
yes, sir. I think that'd be the top four rotation as far as the defensive tackles. KJ Kirkland, another guy I mentioned prior, man, as a true freshman, he just doesn't look like a true freshman. The kid, really good, get out of Jacksonville range, big kid, physical. I think he's going to play this year. I think he's going to be in the rotation at safety. I think he's going to be one of those guys in the future. But this year, I don't think he redshirt. Special teams for sure. I can see him getting some snaps up and mop up duties, and then probably progress throughout the season to where he actually gets some meaningful snaps in big time games. Vandrevius Jacobs, I was impressed with him that first practice I went to. He's still making a lot of plays at FSU. Explosive guy. Mike is real high on him. Mike gave some thoughts on him. Said that we were really high on him in the recruiting process. He led the state in touchdowns with 20 last year, and so far from what we've seen, he's exactly what we thought he'd be. So I think with Michael Pittman being injured, I could see possibly him getting some chances as the main punt returner along with him and Winston Wright, but he could get some actual consistent snaps at receiver too. I know we have a stacked receiver room, but the kid is playing ball, man. I wouldn't be surprised if he finds his way into the rotation at some point during the season. Quintarius Jones, 3-star kid out of Mississippi. He was a really low rated kid out of Mississippi. He had a great day yesterday, man. And just looking at the practice, he that I went to, excuse me, he stood out a couple times just from a size standpoint, right? 6'2", 200 pounds, looks like a P5 player already. He's on a couple months on campus, so I think he's going to be. I don't think he plays this year. When his time comes, excuse me, I think it's going to be a really good get, and he does fit the bill as a P5 player. I know FSU was one of his first offers, and he had some low hanging P5 offers, like I think Mississippi State and a couple others. But I think this kid is a surefire P5 player. They did a pretty good job in the scouting department with Jones. He looks the part. He looks like a really good player. I don't say good player because he hasn't shown that just yet. He looks like he fits. Look like he
Usually,
belongs.
yeah, usually those guys like that play special teams. They freshman year, so you
Yeah.
see a lot of freshmen that are on special
Playing
teams.
special teams, that means,
Yeah,
yeah, the
yeah,
staff is pretty high on them. They show some stuff, and those kids, they're going to be some players in the future. And I think
for
I
sure.
told you guys, I forgot who we had a conversation with. We was talking about, making the bus and stuff like that. And the first people that make the bus is special teams.
Right.
That's the first when it comes to travel squad. Special teams is first. It's just that important. So I think he'll definitely be a player on special teams. Him and KJ Kirkland. Those are the two freshman DBs so far that enrolled early. I think they'll be on the travel squad and making some plays on special teams. We'll see how when Conrad Hussey comes in and when Edwin Joseph, those guys come in over the summer, how they mesh with the team. But the guys that enrolled early, those two defensive backs, I think they won't redshirt for sure. I think they'll find their way on the field at some point in 2023. That's all I
All
got, fellas. Let me get up out here and get this kid his medicine, man.
All
right,
right,
man. Take
brother.
care of business, man. Take care of
All right,
business. We'll
fellas.
hold it down, man. I'll harass Larry
All
about
right,
this.
y'all boys don't be lying too much now.
Shit.
Anybody get my
Well,
shit off, bro.
you've given the reins up now.
All right, fellas.
All right, man.
All right, man. Have a good one. Hey, y'all, be sure to pound that like button. Pound that like button. Super chat is still available. If y'all have any Florida State questions, we'll answer to the best of our abilities with CJ. Have an emergency, but pound that like button. Subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Follow us on absolutely every platform as well. Instagram, we keep the story moving. As far as our IG story, we keep the reels popping. We try to stay engaged with our audience as much as we can on every single platform. So follow us everywhere. I get into some Gator, just camp talk. I don't have a whole lot. We back at practice. Is the first practice back after spring break. Not a whole lot, man. Just some things I'm hearing. Jaden Hill announced that he's moving full time to the star position. He's moved around a little bit in that secondary. Played outside. He's played some star previously, but he's solely playing star. I could tell just by the moves of the offseason that the staff, you could tell what position they're concerned about, just by where position, what players are like moving towards. We had Jamarcus Weston move towards safety. Jaden Hill announced that he's full time at the star, so I know that's a position of concern for them. And I also expect them to go find a safety and maybe a star in the portal in this after this post spring transfer portal window. But right now, Jaden Hill has played okay. He's had a okay career so far. I don't think he's physically built to play in the SEC. He's on the slender side. Um, I think he could go play in the ACC or some other conferences, maybe Conference USA, Pac-12, and be a bona fide starter. But I don't think he's fit to